So the preparation for discard as well as recycling. So the narcissist does think they're in the right for the most part. Most people are when they are narcissists, they're middle range narcissists, and they think that they're just following their instinct. But a lot narcissism itself is following impulse. It's impulse and compulsive disorder. But in the devaluation period, they are actually preparing you for discard as well as recycling. What does that mean? It means that they want to find a new supply. They're actively searching for and grooming and preparing a new supply, or revisiting an old supply. And so they want to move on with an asterisk, right? So they want you to still remain in their stable. And to use you in the future, since you're their property. They bought you, they purchased you, they paid for you with the golden period they gave you, being the mirror of your fantasy, so you're theirs. But they want you to be accepting of being shelved, right? So you sit in the shelf, you sit in the toy box, you're ready to be taken out at any time. You're still there to service them, but they're going to find other people and other supplies. And so, how is that done? So, contradictory word salad is designed to keep you on the razor's edge of hope, but also expecting a transition, right? So, for example, one client had a partner that cheated on them. They said, "Hey, I'm a piece of shit" at the time, and then subtly under the breath said it felt good. I'd probably do it again. Okay, I mean, which one is it? Well, it's both. They intended to keep you engaged with them. They don't want you to disengage. They feel entitled to your devotion, but they think they need other supply. And this can happen over and over and over again. So another example of word salad is an undefinable request, right? So another client said, "Well, my partner's constant criticism was, I cannot feel your heart." And what do you do with that? You know, there's nothing you can do with that. It's like saying that the problem in the world is terrorism. And how do you define terrorism? It's an indefinable problem. It's an unresolvable issue, and that's the point. The point is to push whatever it is. You accept your fault. You have to accept. So in order to stay in the toy box in the stable, you have to accept that it's your fault that the relationship ended. And the narc will do this at any cost, at any price. They will never accept any role in the downfall of a relationship, unless it's just like a, a little breadcrumb, right? Oh, I could have done a little bit better, but you needed to do X, Y, Z. But so an amorphous problem that's legitimately, like, that's unfixable because it's undefined. That's what the "I can't feel your heart" criticism is, and you'll find various manifestations of that. And then even a hopes mattering. So I had another client say, well, when they're in the prolonged protracted devaluation, and in the breakup stage or in the discard stage, the narc said, well, I would never say we are completely over, maybe in a year or so. So it is, you're ready to be discarded. They want you to stay in the toy box and stable. And they subconsciously probably know that the current, what they're transitioning to is unsustainable as well. Uh, so maybe in a year means that in a year time, maybe your situation's improved. Maybe I won't be tired of you. I'll be ready to eat sushi again. I'm gonna move on to prime rib for the moment because I'm entitled to do that. So, they're gonna get tired of prime rib. They expect that, want sushi again. And so they'll put a little breadcrumb out, a little hope smattering out. And that's another tactic. That's preparing you for recycling and preparing your mind for it. I mean, they wanted you to be both disappointed and let go for the time being, and to patiently wait in the shelf, and to be quiet and to accept your responsibility and the failure and being a total disappointment to feeding their addiction and supplying their addiction, and then be ready to fulfill it at any moment in time. And that is the dysfunction of the narcissistic disposition. It is any victory is a Pyrrhic victory. Uh, it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's destructive, and both for the empath as well as the narcissist. Like, their wins are only temporarily, and they're for both of them. There's no, it's always a win-lose transitioning to a lose-lose for everybody. So that is the process of discard, preparing you for discard. It's called the prolonged devaluation, and the preparation for recycling. Thanks for listening.